Marijuana has been legal for recreational use in the Bay State for 6 years now, but law enforcement officers still have no easy way to test drivers to see if they're driving impaired.
Western Mass News reporter Amanda Callahan is getting answers from one local department on what they're seeing on the roads for arrests while operating under the influence.
Across the country, there's a growing trend to legalize marijuana. Here in Massachusetts, medical use of marijuana became legal in 2012, and 4 years later, recreational use of marijuana was legalized for adults over the age of 21. But how is the legalization of marijuana impacting people when they get behind the wheel? According to the Massachusetts Executive Office of Public Safety and Security, statewide OUI drug violations have decreased by about 20% from 2019 to 2021. But here in Western Mass, which includes Hampden, Hampshire, Franklin, and Berkshire counties, the number of drug OUI violations, which includes marijuana, increased nearly 4% over the same time period, reporting 295 violations in 2019, 379 in 2020, and 306 in 2021, which is a trend seen in the town of Ludlow.
We certainly see a lot more marijuana, tremendously more marijuana, and I'm not telling anything anybody doesn't know. You just drive down the street, you can smell it. You walk by people, you can smell it.
Western Mass News getting answers from Chief Daniel Velatis at the Ludlow Police Department. According to the department's data, OUI drug arrests doubled after the state legalized recreational use. From 2012 to 2015, Ludlow police reported 4.5 OUI arrests compared to 8.7 in 2016 to 2022.
So what we looked at is we saw a doubling of the OUI drug arrests, while OUI alcohol went up about 20%. We're following the national trends, if you will, that you're seeing an increase in accidents related to drugs because of the proliferation. I think when you make something, and I would agree with that federally, that when you make something legal, you're going to have more consumption of it. So therefore, you would be led to believe that it would result in an increase. We have seen that, not only with the accidents, but specifically with OUI-related drug arrests.
But Velatis says making an arrest for driving under the influence is more difficult when it comes to determining a specific substance like marijuana.
And that's the challenge for law enforcement, is basically that you don't have, not only do you not have a roadside, some type of a physical exam, you also don't have an exam that you can give afterwards, like a blood alcohol concentration.
The chief says marijuana is most commonly seen, especially since the drug was legalized recreationally in the state 6 years ago, even in those under 21.
Just like alcohol, and marijuana is widely used now. Just by our arrest rates, by what we see, I mean, it's more, I think, it's more accepted than, say, obviously than heroin use or heavy narcotic use. That heavy concentration, that high potency marijuana or high potency THC is incredibly dangerous. And from what I've read nationally, we're definitely seeing an uptick in that.
The Ludlow Police Department has 2 drug recognition experts to help identify impaired drivers, but prosecuting these arrests is often still a challenge as the officer needs signs and symptoms of the specific drug.
Some of that can be shown by plain view with paraphernalia. You may have an admittance by the operator that they consume something. You may have something, like I stated, in plain view that shows, okay, be it heroin use, be it crack cocaine use itself, and then that's the big leap, is that the law enforcement has to show what that substance is, and that's very, very difficult as compared to alcohol.
But the chief is hopeful there will soon be an easier way for officers to keep drug-impaired drivers off the roads.
I think someday and there are tests out there. It will be whether or not, at what point in time, something like that will be accepted, not only by the legislature but in Massachusetts courts, whether or not something like a swab test or a saliva test or something like that.
Amanda Callahan, Western Mass News.
If you have a question or something you want us to look into for you, email us at gettinganswers@westernmassnews.com. Just be sure you include your name and phone number as we work to dig deeper.